So it is October, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh,
And I am a 4-year cancer survivor.
wow.
Yes. So with the brand, just going through chemo and things like that, and you lose your hair, you have all types of surgeries, and you kind of just get in a space where you're down.
Right.
Well, with me, whenever I put on like a really fly-ass outfit, it just always brought my confidence up to an all-time high and just made me feel like no matter what I was going through, I'm still who I know I am on the inside.
Right.
So that love for clothes and that love for looking good and just, feeling really feminine in clothes kind of birthed the brand of Mix Me Apparel.
You are now tuned into the Experience, the Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle. Find out what's happening right now. Came from the bottom, still reaching the highest point. No, we won't pipe down. We are the truth. We are the cool. We are the culture. The Highest Point Lifestyle.
Yo, welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a podcast for everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what you've been through. You know you deserve the best and willing to put in the work for progress to reach the highest point. And speaking of reaching the highest point, we got a special guest in here today. Someone, building their own, independent, on the grind, on the hustle, man. And I'm not just going to dive into it too much. I want to be able to introduce her to you all, let her speak for herself. And can you talk to the people a little bit? Can we get your name, where you're from?
I can. My name is Megan Kirkwood. I'm from High Point, North Carolina. I'm born and raised in the Triad. And my brand is Mix Me Apparel. And it is a women's clothing brand.
Dope. Okay. You're from High Point. You're on the Highest Point podcast. So that's why you thought I maybe
Absolutely.
been from the 336. I'm not quite representing High Point, but hey, my homie lives in High Point, so
Okay.
Yeah, so that's dope, yo.
I was trying to put on for the city a little bit, but that wasn't the case.
Well, you just put on for the city. So what up, High Point, yo? Shout out to everyone out there. I've done a lot of things out there. I've done some filming out there. I know some dope people out there. So, and another dope one right here on the show today, Miss Megan with Mix Apparel.
Thank you.
So, just starting off, I want to, get a little background about the name Mix Me Apparel. What did that derive from?
Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. Well, first off, I definitely want to just say thank you for inviting me on you guys' show and welcome me into your space. I think it's super dope to be here. So thank you.
Absolutely, we definitely appreciate you being here. For blessing us with your presence, talking about everything you got going on. So thank you.
Yes. So Mix Me Apparel. The name itself came from me wanted to have a name for my brand that was one, easy to say, and one, easy to remember. And then just the name itself, Mix Me, because I try to mix a little bit of my style and passion into all of the pieces that I bring to my brand. So That's where that name came from, Mix Me Apparel.
Oh, cool. That's dope.
Definitely.
So now, were you always interested in fashion since the youth, or is something you kind of grew into from teenager to adulthood?
Okay, so, if you don't know me, anybody that grew up with me, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but, I've always liked to dress.
So in other words, she always been fly, people.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it sounds like.
I've always liked to dress, and I've always had an eye for women's fashion and, just how to put stuff together that didn't necessarily fall back on a label all the time. Know how to mix and match pieces. So
put it together a certain way.
Right.
Mix me.
Exactly. Yep.
Yo, she dropping bombs on them today. Damn. But okay, yo, that's dope. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see your ensemble. Is that the right way? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I see it today. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. I can see you got some, some talent, a good eye for those type of things. So
thank you.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So with your Mix Me Apparel, is it mainly focused for women? Is there any men in there?
It is only women. I get a lot of questions, a lot of inboxes like, hey, do you sell men clothes and things like that? And I've never gotten into the men's space because I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like with men's fashion, it kind of has to be a certain brand? Because with ladies, we can go into literally
No.
Walmart and
No.
pull anything out and just make it look so good. But I feel like men just want a little bit more notoriety when it comes to a label.
It's certain dudes, but like somebody like myself, like I don't care about the brand. It's just I want something that's different. I don't want to look
Gotcha.
like anybody else, when I'm actually stepping out. So yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to think about that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of the same with me. Since I got older, I'm more so into comfort.
Okay. That makes
Instead
sense.
of names. Like I'm super, super big on comfort, and I'm like, if I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on putting someone's name on my stuff, it might as well be mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But even before I even got into that, I was like, I'd rather be comfortable now. But I can honestly say, when I was younger, the names I was conditioned.
Right.
So thinking of that, but
Yeah.
as long as I had some fly kicks on and something like that, I'd be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? The lady's gonna like me.
I feel you.
But yeah, I think that's something maybe you should explore, especially if people hitting you up. Like, that might be a pretty good add-on.
I might need to look into it for sure.
Yeah.
But it was more so a women's brand, and just kind of going back into how I started the business. So it is October, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh,
And I am a 4-year cancer survivor.
wow.
Yes. So with the brand, just going into going through chemo and things like that, and you lose your hair, you have all types of surgeries, and
Right.
you kind of just get in a space where you're down.
Right.
Well, with me, whenever I put on a really fly ass outfit, it just always brought my confidence up to an all time high, and just made me feel like no matter what I was going through, I'm still who I know I am on the inside.
Right.
Right.
So that love for clothes and that love for looking good and just feeling really feminine in clothes kind of birthed the brand of Mix Me Apparel. While I have such a passion for dressing women as opposed to men.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's more than just the exterior thing when you put on clothing. It looks good on the outside, but it also, what it sounds like to me, it can be a very good impact on someone on the inside.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's what Mix Me Apparel is all about. So maybe go ahead and get yours ASAP.
Yes.
The link is down below.
Please be my spokesperson. Yeah.
But yeah, that's super dope. And it's very amazing to hear that story about you surviving 4 years being diagnosed with cancer.
Thank you.
That's something so I know some people that been through it, and I know some people that didn't make it through it, and someone that survived and make it through that and still had the confidence. It's a good example for others that go through it. That you can still be confident no matter what you've been through. You can still really, really make it out and feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what matters the most. So I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely what my brand is all about. Just kind of outside of just sourcing beautiful women's clothing, just kind of be an example that you can always rewrite your story no matter
There you
what
go.
you go through. You can always turn around and make beauty out of ashes. So I just want to be a living example of that daily.
Right. And you don't got to break the bank trying to do it.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you can also be an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? You never know who's looking at you.
Right, exactly. You never know that person you're talking to, what they're going through, or if they know a person who may be going through something similar. So that's important to me also. Like you said, you never know what inspiration you can be to somebody else.
Right.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. So many people watching, and the amount of people that respond is 10 times more that's watching. You know what I'm saying? That say
wow,
something
I
to
never
you.
thought about that.
Absolutely. And that's something that I've learned through my process, because sometimes I get stopped, out of the blue. Someone to say something like, "Hey, man, I seen what you're doing. I appreciate this last segment on this." And I'm like, "Yo, I had no idea that it even got to you." You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely positively sure the same thing is happening with your brand. So continue putting that word out there. Continue being an example that anything you go through, you can really make it out, because a lot of people watching. Just because they not saying nothing, they watching.
Yeah, definitely.
They watching, and we been a positive thing. That's what really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that one thing because you've been in how long have you had your business?
So I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary last month.
Hey,
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Super dope. Mix Me 1-year anniversary is in the building.
So that felt really good.
Yeah, I bet. So, okay, you've been in the business for 1 year. So what was that one thing that, because everybody want to be an entrepreneur, but not everyone is willing to jump out there and do it.
Right.
What was that one thing that last straw the camel's back? You're like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's a funny story. Well, it may not be funny to some people, but it's funny to me looking back on it. But I was always against entrepreneurship because I was scared of it. I was always like, give me a 9-to-5 where I know I'm going to get this many hours and I'm going to get this check.
Right.
Because when it's all on you, if you don't eat that month, that's on you. You can't. Right. Ain't nothing you can do about that. So I was always really intimidated by entrepreneurship. And then I had several people in my family who had done it. And I could see just how much work went into it,
Yes.
you know? So it was something that kind of intimidated me. But during the pandemic, you know, my regular 9-to-5 job is I work at an advertising agency. And so we do a lot of events. And during the pandemic, you know, events were obsolete.
Right.
So we were just sitting at the house like, well, what can we do?
Yeah.
And I think that's when it kind of came to me then that, you know, like I did all my shopping online. And I'm like, if I do all my shopping online, I know a lot of other females are doing all their shopping online. And then just kind of coming to that back around to, you know, where the whole brand came out of, just, you know, helping women look and feel great.
Right.
It just kind of came together that way. So it was during the pandemic and I was like sitting at home with not a lot to do. So that's how that kind of came about. And now celebrating 1 year. So
super dope. And
proud of it.
What a great time to do it as well, especially in the pandemic. A lot of people were feeling down, you know, also in this world of the unexpected. So, you know, building a brand to, you know, help people feel good about themselves, and also they can just order it online and have it delivered to them during the pandemic is special. So that's what's up. So I'm glad you came up with those ideas right there on the fly and do this thing. So that's what's up.
So let me ask you this. It's 1 year now. Have you made any critical mistakes that almost kind of like threw your business under?
I wouldn't say threw it under, but it's definitely a learning curve. You know, before I got into it, and that's another thing. I feel like a lot of people, because the pandemic did birth a lot of small businesses, and it did birth a lot of passions out of people to say, hey, I always wanted to do this. Now I had the time to do it.
Right.
So I feel like it was kind of a little bit of oversaturation at the moment, and people looked at it like it was very easy. And just kind of, you know, you just start seeing a lot of people pop up with LLCs for everything, which is, you know, great. Get your get your paperwork in order. That is wonderful, and I love to see it. But then after you see that, you don't really see nothing else after that, and you kind of be like, well, what happened? And I think people, because you have to do your research.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you have to do your research, and then you have to, you know, put a plan together and just kind of stay consistent with it. But one of the issues that I ran into, to answer your question, is you have to figure out which vendors work and which vendors don't, because when you're new to it, you don't know.
Trial and error.
Right, it's trial and error. Right,
basically.
exactly. Who's going to give you the best quality?
Right.
And so there was one time when I saw images of the inventory that I was going to purchase, and you know, I'm like, okay, this stuff looks great. So I went ahead and put it on pre-order. You know, when the inventory actually came in, it wasn't given what it was supposed to give.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
Oh, wow.
So I had to turn around and just basically the customers that had pre-ordered it, just let them know up front. I'm big on customer service, and I'm big on making it right if I've made a mistake, or if I didn't make a mistake, because I want you to come back and shop with me. So I just let them know, hey, you know, this isn't the quality that I thought it was going to be. You know, please accept my apology. I give you 35% off your next order, and, you know, just try to make things right. But that definitely, you kind of had me in the spot. Like, I've ordered all this inventory, and what I'm going to do with it now.
Yeah.
So.
Dang, that's crazy.
And in business, man, like, those things gonna happen. But one thing people value is transparency.
Yes.
They will respect that. if you just be upfront
Absolutely.
and honest with people, let them know what's going on. Like, look, I had no idea this was happening. And also, you know, you took ownership of it and saying, I'll give you this off on your next purchase.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I've learned. Like, you can't sit here and just try to, some people try to sweep stuff under the rug. You can't really do that if you want to keep a solid clientele. You know what I'm saying? Some people that's going to be loyal to your brand. So I'm glad to hear you doing that. And that's what's up.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you this then. Being that happened, do you now take your own photos or do you use vendor photos?
So I never use vendor photos before I get the product in. If I order it and I get it in and it looks like the vendor photo, every now and then I will use a stock image. But honestly, and it's really weird, but for whatever reason, people do not buy my stuff until I take a picture in it.
Right.
And I'd be like, why? It's going to look great on you anyway.
They need to
They
see
need
it.
to see how it fit.
I
before you
think-
get an
Right.
idea.
Yeah.
Especially women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes.
goodness, fit is so important to women. They don't want this little thing in the back that be poking out, especially with our black
Yeah.
girls.
I think
You know what
it
I'm talking about. Is that
I
a
know
name
what
for
you're
that?
talking about. I don't know the name for it, but I know what you're talking about.
what you're talking about, yeah. But I think they do want to see the actual material, you know, how it looks, how it stretches, things like that. So yeah, I really try to stay away from using stock images because, you know, people don't trust them as much as seeing a live person that they know in their clothes. So
Got you. So you don't do much pre-advertising then?
nope. I usually don't until I get it. But it's just something about me having to see it, feel it in my hand, and know how it fits. Because people, you know, they'll ask you, well, does it stretch? Well, how does it fit around the waist? Is it loose at the top?
And then you can't really
Right,
answer the
exactly.
question.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Now you have
yeah.
a
Wanna
real
lie to 'em.
testimony.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. That trust thing.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely
what's
try
up.
to stay away from any type of advertising before I get in. You know, maybe just I got some new season arrivals coming in, but not any pictures or anything like that before I actually see it.
Got you.
Dope. Now, most businesses do not last longer than like the first, second year. You know, we always celebrate your first year. So, you know, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, that's a good question. It's like an interview question.
It is.
Right? You know, I honestly feel like the sky is the limit for Mix Me. I feel like you get out what you put into it. And you know, it's something that I honestly put when people be like blood, sweat, and tears into it, like that's me. I'm in there with the boxes cutting and stuff and missing and nicking my fingers and things like that. So I honestly feel like you know, it can go anywhere. In 5 years, I would like to have a brick and mortar store.
Oh, nice.
I would, and I would probably like to be able to, you know, do it full time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
What do you call the thing like when you write out stuff, your goals? What's the word?
A plan.
Like
Nah.
a vision board? Or,
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, like a
there
vision
you go.
board. Have you already, you know, written this out so it can turn into reality?
I have not.
I
should
challenge you to do that.
Challenge accepted.
So, because a lot of times when we really write things out, we have a reminder of it. You know, put it somewhere where you will actually see it. You know, you always had, okay, that was my goal. This is where I'm at right now, but this is where I want to be. And that's what a lot of times why I think a lot of us kind of fail with, you know, our goals. You know, we don't keep that constant reminder. We don't, you know, always keep our eye on that, you know, particular prize. Because hell, I know sometimes I be like, I want to do this, want to do that. I be get so caught up. Like, look, man, you ain't keep your mind on that one goal you had. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do everything at once. How about you do some things step by step?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. You know, I'm gonna do better with it too, because that's something I was consistent with. But I'm gonna get back to it. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll do that. You know, write the vision, make it plain.
yeah.
So,
Are you in this by yourself? Do you have someone else like you know, co-CEO of the business?
I do not. I own and operate it. It is solo dolo me. I would like to, like, one of my short-term goals is to be able to bring on brand ambassadors so that I do not have to take the pictures all the time. You know, so that
absolutely.
is definitely one of my short-term goals, to bring in some, you know, just some dope females of all shapes and sizes to just be able to put the brand out there with a face other than myself.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's my short-term goal.
Brand ambassadors, hit her up. Mix Me Apparel.
Please do.
You know, it got some really dope apparel out here, dope ideas, dope designs. So yeah, get those brand ambassadors going. I think that's something you can definitely do. I thought I saw a picture of someone rocking some of your gear.
You know, I always definitely highlight my customers. So whenever they wear my outfits and tag me, I definitely put them on the website, on all of our social media.
Right.
So that's always a plus. But just try to get people for the new arrivals.
Yeah.
You know, get some brand ambassadors for, you know, the new arrivals that we have come in so that they can showcase it that way.
Okay. So speaking about the brand ambassadors, what's kind of the type of women that would be, you feel, is drawn to your brand? What's the vibe of Mix Me?
That is a good question. It really, I'm not trying to be funny when I say that. It's
We do
really
this,
a good
baby. This is the highest point podcast.
So, right. So, okay. Mix Me Apparel is modern, on trend, exclusive clothing. Now, that's our tagline.
Can we hear that again? That was...
Yes. Mix Me Apparel is modern, on trend, exclusive clothing. That's what you will find.
Okay.
Our specialty is, you know, clothing, apparel, and sleepwear. And then we kind of branch off. We do footwear a little bit. And then if you see us at a pop-up shop, we have a few accessories.
So you do accessories
we do,
as well.
We do a few.
Okay.
Typically, like I said, when we have a pop-up shop, but I try to stay in my lane of clothing, sleepwear, and footwear.
Right.
So kind of specialize in that. But, you know, the woman who shops at Mix Me is going to be similar to somebody that is in my friend group or somebody into my outside extended circle, which I'm a older millennial. Okay. So
Well, now what in the world is that?
there is a term. There is geriatric millennial. Have you heard of that?
I have
No.
I'm telling you.
Where did this stuff come from? It's so many terms. Like, can you help us understand what
Did they just make that?
They probably did. See, here's the thing. You know, working in advertising every day, we study demographics and different, generations and things like that. Because we're trying to, our job is to get you to buy whatever our client is selling.
Right, right.
Yeah, so I'm an older millennial, and you know, I feel like with my brand and with my customer, who is my target audience, she is somebody who kind of grew up around the age of, you know, the Destiny's Child, and kind of with the more so relates to a Issa Rae other than a Jada or a Ari, which I love Jada and Ari. Like, they the hottest of the hot right now, but
Jada. Pinkett?
no. See, you like
I'm too
me.
old.
See, you like me. No.
I thought you was doing that too.
Are y'all really
Jada
serious?
who?
Well, see, Jada,
Is she a...
little baby's baby mama.
Oh, we don't know her.
Yeah, I know Lil Baby, but...
I'm just saying.
Okay.
And you know Ari, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Ari Fletcher.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, they are the ones that trend on Instagram right now.
Right.
So they're the hottest of the hot right now.
Yeah.
So, but I say that to say that, you know, somebody who shops with my brand, they kind of relate more to, like I said, to a Beyonce or to a Issa Rae, you know, to a Snow Allegra, things like that.
Yeah.
Because we retired hot girls. Let's be
Right,
clear.
Right. Yeah. The hot girl summer was 2 summers ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we're kind of in the space where, like, we're kind of set in our career, kind of trying to climb the corporate ladder, you know, trying to build a family, things like that. But, you know, we still will step out to the club every now and then, want to kind of be on the scene that way. But we're pretty much doing brunch and vacations more than... You know,
it's for the grown and sexy.
Right, exactly. So
For the grown and sexy. You know what I'm saying? I can
still-
do my work, but I step out and sexy and be sexy on your ass. You're like, oh, dang, girl, I didn't know you had Jada in you.
Yeah. So
You know?
that's how it is. And it's just a fun, vibrant, you know, girly brand. I love, like, when I'm describing my clothes on live, I'm always saying super cute or something like that. So that is the target audience, the perfect Mix Me Apparel customer. And all my customers, like, are awesome. They're just so many different facets of life, and I just love to see it. I love to see it.
That's cool. It's
good to know that y'all are old like me.
Like, are we, what'd you call it? Grown millennials? What the?
Geriatric.
Geriatric.
I promise you, it is a term, guys.
It sounds like we should have arthritis.
Right. Like, what the hell?
The Gen Zers are coming in and just, you know.
Okay, so what is the age range? What is right now? If someone is like 15 to 20, what's that?
That is Gen Z.
That's Gen Z.
Yes, the millennial is like the largest generation right now, because it ranges from like late 20s to like early 40s.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, and then before that is Gen
I didn't know I was
X.
a millennial.
Yes, you are. Yes.
I be calling them millennials. Like I'm,
No.
I'm with them.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
So I want to know why I fall.
You a millennial?
No, because she said it's
you
different
think
sectors.
you got geriatric?
I might be. I don't know.
Definitely geriatric.
I was born what? 85.
Yeah, you right there with me, geriatric. I'm telling you, geriatric millennial.
Yeah.
I wear it with pride.
As you should. Like we the ones.
Exactly. We are definitely the ones.
It's all good. We still here.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
It ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
It's like we the perfect blend. Like we know what's going on with the young ones. You know what I'm saying? And also, we got that old soul too with
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It's like we got both worlds.
Because before the technology was coming up, and
Right.
then the technology hit, and we've been here the whole time.
Exactly.
Yes, we are the only generation that knows before technology, before the internet, before social, and then after. Like
Right.
Gen Z, they came into it having all the technology at their fingertips.
Right.
Wow.
Gen X had none. So we are the only blended generation that kind of had, like you said, the best of both worlds.
Yeah. We the ones, baby. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like straight up. Just like that. Dang, that's what's up. You enlightening me right here. You are enlightening me right here.
I'm glad I learned something today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Okay. So even with doing this the Mix Me apparel. Now I sliding on to like because you also have like a child as well, right?
I do.
Do he be out there opening up boxes and helping you out at the crib?
Yeah. So I have one son, and he's younger. He's 7. So he kind of just helps me out if I'm dropping some stuff off at the post office.
Oh,
He'll,
okay.
Drop it in the box for me, or that's pretty much it, because he is all about
You doing a game or something?
he is all about his own free time. So
Right. Tell me about it.
But he does. Now I will say this: he does watch me perform my entrepreneurship, and it does spark different things in him. Like
That's where I
last
was
summer,
going.
we have a pear tree in our backyard. So last summer he sold pears. So
you better get him, son.
Definitely.
It
That's
definitely
what's up.
influences him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was just wondering like how how is it because a lot of people like like they maybe feel like maybe it's I got kids right now, maybe it's just too much for me to jump into entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to know how you navigate that space, making sure that he get his time, and also you get your time with your business. How do you navigate that?
It's definitely a balancing act, between work and then full-time parent, and then striving to grow your business. It's
Right.
definitely a juggling act. Like you have all these balls in your hand and you gotta make them go around simultaneously.
Right.
Now there are times when I'm actively doing something in my business, and if my son comes in, and if he's doing something where I see that it needs my attention, I have to tell myself, okay, no, put this down. This can wait. Because I can get back up at 2 a.m. and finish whatever that is. He has to be in bed at 9. So if he's asking for, the smallest amount of my attention at this point, I feel like I owe it to him to give him that. So.
Absolutely. And it can be hard to turn that switch off though. It's so hard because I can be sometime editing something. My son to come to me, and I tell him, hold up. But then I got to sit there and think, no,
Yeah.
nigga, you hold up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, back away from that computer. Like, you don't want to discourage him
Right.
from
From coming to you. Yeah.
he ain't gonna interrupt. He ain't gonna stop anyway.
Yeah.
He gonna keep putting me off. He think that's more important than me.
Exactly.
So like you saying, it's a juggling act, and I'm gonna get better at that as well. Because I have done that. I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, I gotta relax with that because he's more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's dope, and that's why it's so important for women. They just think about those things. They y'all what you call that thing? You guys we got the rationale. They have like the
Intuition?
empathy and.
No.
Well, I think men got intuition too. They sleeping on man intuition.
Is that a thing? Did you just make that up?
Man intuition.
Intuition.
I said all the time, yeah, my man intuition had told me.
Oh, okay. That sounds like my spider senses were tingling.
Yeah, just like that. That's what women intuition is, right? Like you have this feeling.
I think so, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I'm gonna get better at that. I think women naturally have that, but it's not. Men may not naturally have that in those areas, but it's always something that you can have if you focus on it.
That's true.
Just
That's
like,
true.
y'all can be a little bit more rational, and not emotional if you think about it. If you feel that way, if you feel like women can be emotional. Got quiet.
I said, is that a question or was
Yeah.
that a statement?
That's a question. If you feel like it.
Do I feel like women are what now?
Do you think you, even in like business and personal life, you think you more so maybe base some decisions off emotion more than rationale? You think that's ever happened?
Yes, and I think that it depends on, what hat you're wearing at the time. If you're at work and something, I'm sure anybody can relate, man or woman, something happens and it just kind of flips your switch. Like, you want to go off.
Right.
But your emotions want to go off.
Right.
But your brain is telling you got to, mortgage, a
time.
car note. Right. You're not finna show out and then lose your stream of income.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that it depends on what hat you're wearing. But if you're at home, for myself, if I'm at home and I'm dealing with something inside my home, even when it comes to just my child or, any type of relationship, family member, anything, sometimes the emotions definitely can get the best of you.
Yeah.
I think it's something that comes with age. You kind of learn to control your emotions more. And I don't think it's necessarily because, you're getting older, so you know how to control your emotions more. For myself, I think, okay, I know myself better now. Like the older I get, the more I learn myself and what I'm capable of. So it's like, okay, you need to check yourself, Megan, before, it gets to a point of no return. So
Absolutely.
I think everybody can fall victim to that. And I'm not going to hold you. It's probably more so the female nature, to kind of go off the cuff on those emotions. That's why you guys got to be safe out here. Don't play with the females and their emotions.
You're right. You're right. Well, you're right. Like you don't want to. If you cause this emotion, a man can cause that emotion and then have to have the consequences of that. Now, still you got to be smart as well. Now, also we got emotions that can be out of place as well that we got to check.
It's rare though.
Yeah, it's less. I feel like it's less, but I do get emotional
less
sometimes.
or is it just held in?
It's less.
Well, I think we hold in emotion too, because we have this again like conditions mindsets. Like men are not supposed to say this or express this or show like pain and stuff like that. So you are, although your feelings may be hurt, you may not say it.
Right.
You don't want to look like no chump. You know what I'm saying? But you should say it if you don't want to feel like that again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know.
He's a savage. So go ahead and go from the savagery point of view.
Like as far as being emotional, I don't really be emotional.
I think it all depends on your definition. Like we may have different definitions of
like reacting.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like say if you say something stupid, right?
Right.
And I feel away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna just react.
Right.
It depends on what you say. Because if it's too far out of
like
line,
disrespectful.
then I'm gonna just take it over the top at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
because there's no mid ground. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I dig it.
What you think?
So, okay.
What's your experience with me?
But so when you say you don't react, but would you would still feel it? It's just
I will understand it. You get what I'm saying?
If someone said something stupid?
No, I will understand what's going on inside of me.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
That's
another
how you
level of
kinda-
enlightenment there.
yeah, you gotta have self control. It starts
Yes.
with that.
Yeah, it's
You know
big
what
on
I'm saying?
self-control.
That's
Self-control
true.
is big. I think I have a great grasp on self-control now, but that's something I had to grow into. It's definitely something I had to
Right.
grow into.
Yeah, and I think I'm big on self-control as well, because I'm a firm believer of whatever the situation is, you have to be responsible for your own actions.
Absolutely.
Like when people are like, "Well, I did that because you made me feel this way," or how you were saying, men can cause women to have certain emotions.
Right.
That is true, but at the end of the day, how you choose to react,
Right.
it's never a point in time where you can say, "Oh, I did this because they did that."
Right.
So
Yeah, so true. I literally just had a conversation with my son. Like, he got into altercation at school. And, a little boy said something to him, called him, out his name, and hit him with a mama joke, and then he pushed him. I said, look, when you react to someone, you're giving them power over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not exerting power by hitting them back because that's something they wanted you to do. They wanted to invoke you to step out of your character. So once you react to someone that's purposely trying to, invoke some type of emotion on you, you're giving them the power. You know what I mean? Like, you can't allow them to get the power. You can't give them what they expect. Give them what they don't expect.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
don't
true.
allow them people to have power over you, because in that situation, they won.
That's hard though.
It is.
That is hard.
It is.
Especially, at school, like once you said it, he cracked a mama joke. Like once you go to somebody's mama, it's like
super
all,
hard.
all
But you gotta
logic
wait
goes out the
till
window.
after school.
Right.
That's where the self-control
There
come
it
in. Wait
is.
till after school. You're going to
Like-
see them, and you can get them.
Yeah.
Just
And not
wait.
even get caught.
You
know what
might
I'm saying?
still get caught, but the consequences aren't as severe.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to be able to have that self-control. So, okay, I'm going to get you back for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be when ain't nobody watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I feel like that's a more rational thinking on the back end, and that didn't even cross my
Reaction.
mind. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Reactionary. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, we don't hit all types of topics today, and like from, your journey, you know what I'm saying, into your, entrepreneurship, your business. You actually, surviving through this cancer, celebrating your 4th year. So even,
Yes.
rationales from, men to women, this Mixed Me is just falling into line with this whole segment today, people.
It has definitely mixed up a lot of conversation.
Yeah, and it was definitely a pleasure having you today. Whenever you want to be, a guest again, you're definitely welcome. You can bring in some of your product. We can, let the people see, because I already seen it. It's super dope. So definitely check her out. I will have all her information directly in the description below. So don't hesitate to, reach out. And how people can find you on social media and things like that.
Yes. So our website is mixmeapparel.com. That's where you can do all your shipping, all your shopping, everything like that. It's a full service e-commerce site. And then on social, we are Mix Me Apparel on Instagram and on Facebook. And TikTok, we are Mix Me Boutique.
Super
Yes.
dope.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely been a pleasure, yo. Until next time, everyone, you guys hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
Thank you.
The Highest Point Podcast.